Okay, thank you. So, good morning. Today, our session is on research. As we know that research is a new as well as an all topic, because this topic is always under modifications. But the basic elements of research will always remains the same. That it must have some systematic steps, some basic rules, and first of all, we have to know what is research, how research is different from search, or how or normal regular study or learning. So all these, first of all, now Roshan Amraji is going to explain to you. I'm welcoming Roshan Amraji on the discussion on the topic of research.
Thank you, teacher. Good morning, one and all present here. Myself, Roshanam Raji. Today I am going to deal with the topic research. So, the topics like the meaning, importance, characteristics, the purpose, and the scope of research, all these are included in my presentation. Ma'am, is this visible?
Yes.
So, what is research? It is very clear from the term. The term research consists of two terms, re and search. Re means again and again. Search means to find out something. So in simple words, we can understand research is what? It is the process of find out something again and again. We all are familiar with the nursery rhyme, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. Here the use of the word what and how essentially summarize what a research is. When we get a problem, we will definitely think about what is this or how to solve this problem. That is actually research. So, the first slide is about the meaning of research. Research is a systematic, scientific, objective activity which includes the collection of relevant information and careful analysis of data, recording and reporting of valid conclusion which may lead to creation of new knowledge, development of theory, principle and generalization. That means research is a logical and systematic search of new and useful information about a particular topic. At the end of the research, we will definitely get new conclusion, new fact, or we will get a solution to our problem. So it is an investigation of finding solution to scientific and social problem through objective and systematic analysis. So while making a research, we can also collect information from various sources like from reading books, journals or from experts, from making field trip or from our experience, nature, etc. So that is actually research to find out something. And also the second point is the term research consists of two words, re and search. Re means what? Again and again. Search means to find out something. So we already discussed about this point. Research is an in-depth inquiry into a problem which needs an agreeable solution. And the research that also means the process of testing the validity of assumption and formulated hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? We all know that. Hypothesis is a tentative solution or it's an assumption or a provisional guess. Through this research, we can also test the validity of our assumption. So this is all about the meaning of the research. Hope you all understood. Now, characteristics of a good research. What are the characteristics of a good research? Research is directed towards the solution of a problem. And the research is a continuous inquiry in search of knowledge. Okay. Then research is based upon observable experience and empirical evidence. That means it only accepts verifiable data as evidence that is mostly expressed in a quantitative terms. And the research, it emphasizes the development of generalization, principles and theory. That means it will be helpful for predicting the future occurrences. And the research demands accurate observation and description. While making a research, we need to make accurate observation and description. And the research is an objective, logical process and it eliminates impersonal bias. That means it does not try to prove one's personal conviction. And the research is characterized by a patient activity. It takes its own time. Okay, and the research is a carefully recorded and a reported one. There is a possibility of a replication. A replication means it is in research we done a replication to confirm or raise question about the conclusion of our previous studies. Okay, but always remember when we researching about researching about a new or untouched area is always very important. This is all about the characteristics of a good research. So we discussed about the meaning and characteristics of a good research. Then what are all are will be the characteristics of a good researcher? A good researcher must have self-confidence and commitment. He should be 100% committed and dedicated to their work. And they must have concentration and patience. And they must have analytical mind and critical way of thinking, scientific discipline and a systematic, innovative approach, originality and creativity. They must possess a questioning attitude. They must have social skills and communication skill, keen observation and listening skill, and they must be flexible too. These are the characteristics of a good researcher. Now, so we discussed about what a research is, what are the characteristics of a research, what are the characteristics of a good researcher, what is the significance of a research, why we are making a research. So that is the first significance is to find out the truth which is hidden and which has not been discovered as yet. This is the first significance of making a research. And also to discover answers to questions through the application of scientific procedure. Using various scientific method and scientific procedure, we can find answers to our question, or we can find solution to our problem. And also it helps us identify the range and the application of problem. And another significance of research is for higher gain and productivity, and to improve the quality of product. Through this research, we can find solution to our problem, or we can discover answers to our question, and also we can improve the quality of our product. This is the significance of research. Now, types of research. There are basically three types of research: a basic research, applied research, in-action research. Basic research, otherwise called fundamental research, it is a basic one. It represents a rigorous and structured type of analysis. The result of this research are not directly applicable in the field situation. That means it is usually carried out in a laboratory or other sterile environment, or sometimes with animals. This type of research is not concerned with solving any practical problem of immediate interest. That is a basic research. Then what is applied research? Just the opposite of basic research. It is mainly intended to improve school practices and to greater teacher effectiveness in practical manner. Most of the problems faced by a teacher and administrators are solved using or through this applied research. That means this type of research aims to solve an immediate practical problem. So this is a basic research and an applied research. The third one is in-action research. So it is very clear from the term itself. It emphasizes more on action or practical work than on theory. Action research is restricted to classroom practices. Almost every teacher faces a number of problems in the classroom situation which need immediate solution. For example, the problem may be poor English spelling of the student or poor handwriting, the problem of indiscipline, the problem of slow learners. So this is all about the in-action research. So these are the three types of research: basic research, applied research, and in-action research. Now, educational research. So, hope you all get a basic idea about what a research is. Then, what will be educational research? Simply, research in the field of education to solve the problem that is related to educational sectors. That is the educational research. Educational research is the process of scientific inquiry to solve the problem of the educational sector of the country. It includes theoretical elaboration, quality enhancement, classroom dimension, etc. So this is an educational research. So what is the purpose of education research? Why we are making an educational research? The first one is to solve the problem related to classroom situation, institution, administrative level or policy level. That is the first purpose of the educational research. Then adding of existing stock of knowledge related to educational field. Then, to build new knowledge regarding the methodology, pedagogy or other core subject areas. Then another purpose of educational research is identify and access the ICT enabled classroom and teaching. And also invention of new teaching method, curriculum transaction strategies, effective grouping techniques and so on. This is all about the educational research and the purpose of the educational research. Okay, hope you all get an idea about what is the research and what is the difference between common research or and the educational research. Now, steps involved in educational research. So there are basically certain steps involved in educational research. First one is the selection of a problem or sensing a problem. So we need to select a problem according to their appropriateness, relevance, importance. So selection of a problem is very important in educational research. What is the problem? A problem is a gap between what we have and what we want. So first step involved in educational research is the selection of a problem. Then the formulation of hypothesis. This is also very important step involved in educational research. Then methods to be used. There are basically three methods used in educational research, that are historical, descriptive and experimental. Then the fourth step involved in educational research is the data collection. We can collect data and information from various sources, like by conducting experiment or from talking with the experts or from the nature, from our experience or from reading books or journal. We can collect our data for research. Then another step involved in educational research is analysis and interpretation of data. We have to interpret our data. Then the last step is reporting the result. So these are the steps involved in educational research. Selection of a problem, formulation of hypothesis, three methods involved, that is historical, descriptive, experimental, collection of data, analysis and interpretation of data, then reporting the result. Now, what is the scope of the educational research? This area is very wide actually. There are a lot of scope in educational research and I mentioned some of them here. First one is the guidance and counseling. This is one of the scope of educational research. Then curriculum construction and textbook, educational evaluation, educational technology, educational administration, teacher education and teaching behavior. These are some of the scope of educational research, but this area is very vast. So this is all about research. So through my PPT, I discussed about what is a research, its meaning, and what are the characteristics of a research and what are the characteristics of a good researcher, the significance of a research, types of research. There are three types of research, that is a basic research, applied research, in-action research. Then what is a educational research and what are its purpose. Then the steps involved in educational research, the scope of educational research. So These are all about my topic. Hope you all understood. Thank you.
Very good, Roshan. She explained the basic elements of research. Some more additions I have to add. Always we know that whenever we are dealing with any education, especially higher education, we are giving much importance to researcher. ഗവേഷകൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വളരെ പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഗവേഷകൻ, researcher. Why is it so? Can anyone answer? Why is it so? Already she mentioned what is research. So research means search, research, searching again for finding. Okay, we are searching for means how to find something. Okay, so why we are giving much prominence to researcher? If somebody tells that he's a research scholar, it's a reputed designation. Why is it so? Can anyone answer that?
We need modifications or changes or development.
Very good, Grishma. Yes, finding new things. Yes, yes. Both the answers, Grishma and Reba, both the answers is some correct. Any more additions? The researcher is the person who always misconceptions. Okay, researcher is the person. I don't understand it, Grishma. What do you mean by misconceptions there? Is this misconceptions about researcher?
To rectify the errors, what we learned or what we discovered.
Okay. You mean researcher is working against misconceptions, like that you mean, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, the importance of researcher is the real person who makes some social change. He is he or she, that researcher. Now many persons, first of all, it was a male dominated field. Now I have to say it is a female dominated field. So we know that in every high education or research institute, the heads are once, when we say about Vikram Sarabhai or something of that era, male was dominating. Now we know that female is dominating. Not in every research institution, but most of the research departments, females are there. Even we know that Miss Lady Jessie, all that Dr. Jessie, all such persons. Okay, so the main reason is they are making social change. If we want any change anywhere, it can be done only by a researcher. Researcher is the first person who have to motivate, or you have to say stimulate any research in any, stimulate any change in any field. Maybe medical field, maybe educational field, maybe astronomy, maybe in any field, even in soil, even in tree, that any field, botany, soil, whatever it is. Change is really starting. He is the stimulator. Researcher is the stimulator. The main two duties of a researcher is solving problem and making improvements. That was first Grishma told, and Reba also told. That is making changes, finding solutions. That is, in two ways they are making solutions or finding new things. One is they are finding solutions to existing problems, Second thing is they are making the situation more better, more for working more efficiently. കൂടുതൽ എഫിഷ്യന്റ് ആയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ കൂടുതൽ ബെറ്റർ ആക്കുന്ന ഡ്യൂട്ടി റിസർച്ചർ ആണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And how they are doing this? That's the next question. How they are doing this? They are giving their life for that. They are not having a social life. You know, do you ever feel that researcher come to any political or any media field and telling, I am doing that, I am doing this? No. Real researcher will never come to any media exposure or any such things. They are always under, but we had to, they are always under research, because research is a 24/7 work. And they are always doing research. They have a life always under movement. The findings, they are always circulating to us for a better life, for finding solutions to our problems. So that's why researcher is always having a high designation, just like doctors, you know. Even researcher is getting a 1 PhD, they are also called doctors. But just like doctors, we know the life of doctor is not that much safe, that much good, but we are respecting doctors because they are saving life. They are giving us more hope in our life. Whenever we feel that we are losing everything, there is nothing remains with us, we are then as we are giving much value to our life. We feel when we are losing our life, we feel that we are losing everything. Then the doctors is the person who are giving motivation for us. That's why we are giving much importance to doctors, medical practitioners, whatever it is, nurses also. So like that, a researcher is the person who was really helping us a lot for a better life silently. So their presence in the society is really silent. If somebody asks you, tell some of the researchers whom you know or whom you are familiar, you may some famous scientists, famous. They are criminal above, but I have to say they are highlighted persons. They may get some awards, so something like that. They are the only person whom we know, but millions or lakhs are working for us in different labs for everything. Whatever things we are using in our life, that's the output of research. So that's it. First point, that is the first point. Second point, what she mentioned about different types of research. When we are saying about different types of research, we can classify research based on 3 criteria. Based on 3 criteria, we can classify research. She mentioned 2 of it. First one, she mentioned in the first types itself as basic. What was the other 3? What was the other 2? Basic. Who was listening? Roshni itself is telling. Do anyone else can say what are the other 3 types? Other 2 types, or what are the 3 types she mentioned? Anybody who written it? So do I have to know that nobody had written the notes? Applied and action. Yes, Lakshmi, you are right. Applied and action. So basically, when we are saying about research, research can be of 3 types based on the purpose. Research are classified based on 3 criteria. The first criteria is purpose. So for what you are using research? If you are using research to build up some theories, build up some rules or theories or laws or facts, verifying some facts, that type of research is called basic research or fundamental research. So if you are using research I think all of you are taking it in your books. I will ask you to explain it on the next class. So, research, if you are doing that for explaining theory or finding solutions in a theory mode, that type of research that is called, what type that is called? Basic research. Okay, from now onwards, I'm going to call you names. So that is called basic research. And if you are using research for finding solutions in a product mode, that if you are finding solution to any problem by using the theory, if you are finding solution to any problem in a product mode, it is termed as, Gopika? Applied research. Yes, all of you are waiting for that. I have to call your name. Okay, I will. Thank you, Gopika. That is applied research. So if you are using research theories to finding, that is, if Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, that law is basic research. But when you are developing a rocket or missile or something based, one of the principle is that, based on that, that is applied research. That is, they are giving a product on that. And the third type of research is a research which is have an immediate action. Immediate. That is, in applied research, we are taking a particular problem and we are trying to solve the problem. It is having so many steps and we have to follow the steps. Based on that success of each step, we are coming to a solution. It may take years. It may take, we know that the first missile take 10 years. So, may take many years, but in third type, that is action research, it is an immediate action. So there is a problem and we are trying to solve the problem with an immediate effect. That is, if you have a traffic jam and always it happens regularly, or you have to say daily in a particular road, we have to solve the problem. So we will study that and we will find why is this happening so, and we have to solve it with some other mode. But that traffic jam is not always happening. It is for a particular time. That is from maybe from 8:30 to 9:30. After 9:30, the problem will finish. There is no traffic jam. That is, the problem is not a permanent problem. It is a temporary problem, but the problem is there which we want to be solved. But and it has to be solved with immediate effect. Otherwise, there is no meaning in solving such a problem, because that problem will not exist after some time. So that type of a problem and that type of a research is called action research. So that's the first criteria in which the research is classified based on very good, purpose, based on purpose. The second thing is, the research is based on the method we are using research. What type of method we are using in that particular research. If we want to study some research items which we are not existing now, which was there, that is termed as historical research. So here we are using a particular method that is called historical method. So here historical method is used for studying historical relics, remains, okay, all that. And the second one is what prevailing now, what is really happening now, that we have to learn. We are using another type of research, that is descriptive research. That is also mentioned by by Roshan in her discussion. That is descriptive research. What is existing now, the present situation is studying, and that descriptive research is studying using descriptive method. Third one is, it is what will happen if the situation changes. If I am giving some other changes, some other modifications to the present situation, what may happen or what will happen. That type of a study, that is called experimental method, that is experimental research. So based on the method, whether you are studying in a historical mode, whether you are studying in a descriptive mode or an experimental mode, the research is again classified based on the method as historical research, descriptive research and experimental research. Again, this main type of research, historical, descriptive and experimental, is having different sub-classifications, but that is not, that is another one, that is very in-depth study. So we have to know up to this. So in India, we are always giving much importance to descriptive and experimental research. Descriptive research is always happened by NGOs, social organizations, government organizations, all that. But experimental study is always happening in our reputed labs like NIST or Rajiv Gandhi or such biotechnology, such and such Cancer Institute, all that. They are giving much importance to experimental research. But what about historical research? We have some government organizations which we are giving much prevalence to historical research, but unfortunately, our output is not that much. But because they are taking some special themes, like if you say KCHR, Kerala Council for Historical Research, is a well-reputed institution under ICSSR for doing some research on historical research. What happens is that they are giving much importance to Pattanam excavation. There is one excavation that happens in Kochi. May you know about that Pattanam excavation. So what happens there is they are giving importance, or they are much, I mean, they are concentrating on how to Pattanam. So what happens is that in the social mode, it is not coming much output. The findings they are taking outward. That is, they are publishing the results in. They are publishing the results in some external body, or we can say foreign bodies or something like that. So that is the about history. That's why what we are happening now in public media, like you know. The public media, like the famous, the notorious person which we find, Sri Krishnന്റെ പിന്നെ ഉറിയും യുദാസിന്റെ നാണയവും ഒക്കെ ഇപ്പൊ പ്രിവേലന്റ് ആവാൻ കാരണം തരത്തിലുള്ള ഗവേഷണം, ഹിസ്റ്റോറിക്കൽ റിസർച്ചിലെ കേരള മോഡിലുള്ള തോൽവി തന്നെയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് ദേ ആർ നോട്ട് പ്രിവേലന്റ്. യുദാസിന്റെ നാണയം ഇവിടെ വരുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ വിശ്വസിക്കും. ശ്രീകൃഷ്ണന്റെ പിന്നെ എന്താണ് കുടം വരുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ വിശ്വസിക്കും. ബിക്കോസ് we have only that much knowledge. Our historical research is only up to that. It is a highly limited area in a place like Kerala. So that's നമ്മുടെ ഒരു കുറവാണ്. Just I'm telling you, as a science student, especially I have to say, if you are giving much, if you are interested in research, and if you are giving importance to historical research, you know, there is a wide scope, because no much students in science who is really interested in history. I don't know why, but it is true. So historical research is an area which is not at all noted by much science students in Kerala. So we have much scope in that field. If you are not employed, getting employment just after B.Ed immediately, you can find projects for KCHR or some ICSSR for based on this Kerala history or historical elements. That will give you a very good research output for your state. Okay, that is the second criteria. The third criteria is the data which we are using for research. Third criteria is the data. You can have two types of data, that is quantitative data and qualitative data. These are the two types of data. Qualitative data, you know that, which is of a narrative type, and quantitative data which is of a numerical type. So if you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, your data you are taking, that is called quantitative research. And if you are taking research, very nice, good, yeah, it was improving. If you are getting such type of subjective comments, or even if it is objective, but in a narrative mode, you can say very good, such type of rating skills. Okay, rating skills can also be used in qualitative and quantitative data, but such type of things. Behavior of a person, or personality trait of a person. Such type of research that will comes in qualitative research, especially historical research or qualitative research. So this type of research, so that the basic three criteria, that is purpose, method and data, that is the research is classified. Then she again explained about the steps of research. Steps of research, we can have 6 steps, she explained it, but I want to add one more step to the second one, that is the first one, that is identifying the problem or selecting the problem and formulating the problem. That is one step. Then the second step is review of related literature. That is the second step, review of related literature. Then it comes the formulation of hypothesis. So we are not formulating the hypothesis just what we feel, but we are formulating hypothesis based on the research evidences which is already existing. So based on that only, you can have some opinion from your experts, from your seniors. You may have some thought by inductions or illusions. I have to say, inductions must, maybe, most of the cases, 70% inductions are illusions only, but that may also vary. But we are, most of the cases, we are formulating hypothesis based on the research findings. So that's why the second step is always review of related literature. So then we have formulating hypothesis. And all the other steps she mentioned was absolutely, and reporting the results, or we can say publishing the result, all that, the last step. Then about what you understand by the scope of research. By the word scope, what she mentioned scope, but what do you understand by the scope? Can anyone?
Application level.
Okay, Grishma, she mentioned application. What do you feel, Deepa?
The future, the outcomes of the research that can be used in various fields.
Okay, Deepa. Thank you, Grishma and Deepa. What do you feel, Elsa?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, audible.
I also have the same opinion. It's about application outcome.
Okay, that is in which all fields we are really using is this particular research in education. In education, we have various types of small fields. So which all fields we can use research. So she mentioned about 6 or 7. How many you mentioned, Roshan?
Ma'am, 7, I think. 7.
Okay. We have so many measurement. We can add educational psychology, you can add child psychology, you can have delinquency, you have study disabilities for educational psychology, teaching strategies, then about measurement and evaluation, different types of teaching aids, I mean new aids for students, I mean improvised aids also, improvised aids not only for normal students, you can go for disabled students, slow learners, blind students, dumb and dumb students. So many things we can do in the field of educational research, which is not at all much touched in the world. So as a researcher, we can have so much of scope. So if you are really interested to continue your study as a researcher, I mean, as a student or as a scholar, it's the best way is you have to, either you have to pass UGC exam, NET or JRF, and concentrate on research on a particular topic, or you can go for entrance exam by different universities and you can concentrate doing research on that particular university. And some other scopes also, if you are interested to go abroad, you can study, or I mean, after passing IELTS or TOEFL or something like that, you can apply fellowships from outside university like Fulbright scholarship or something like that, and can go abroad as a research scholar, which gives you much scope as a science student. So research is a field which is having wide scope. The only one thing is we must have interest. Otherwise, it can kill you. If you have interest, it can give you a lot. But if you are not interested, it will make us nothing. So keep it that. Okay, hereby we are ending that session. Thank you. Georgia.